Yo, what's up, everybody? Episode 3, Stay Sharp, the podcast, brought to you by J. Allen Training. This is J. Allen tuning in with y'all today. Thank you for tuning in with me. I got a special one for y'all today. Man. Gonna be talking about what's good for us. I'm gonna be breaking it down in 3 categories: people, environment, and activities. But before we even get into that, for some of you, this may be your first time tuning into this. I will give you the heads up. This is straight off the top. There's no pre-written script. There's no notes. We're doing this straight off the top. That's how I like to do things. It keeps me transparent, honest, and authentic, and there's nothing more than I want for this to be an authentic experience between me and you guys as we talk and discuss these topics through the comments, DMs, however y'all want to contact me. Y'all know I'm always for it. So let's chat, let's create some perspective, and most importantly, let's create a conversation. That's really important, to just have the talk about some of the things that we hold important and we want to figure out in avenues we want to grow in. So with that being said, let's get it. Episode 3. So what's good for us? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with environment. I feel like environment is huge and it's a struggle for a lot of people because environment is oftentimes, besides people, what we choose to blame to be a limiting factor why we can't go somewhere else. An environment is nothing more than a space, but it is valid when people say that they feel like they can't enter a certain space because of certain things, maybe walls, parameters, actual physical doors, not even just mental barrier doors. But I will tell you, like any space, some space takes a requirement. You take a door for a matter. It takes a key, right? You take a certain nightclub you want to get into. You got to dress right. You got to come with a certain type of fashion, insert yourself a certain way, and they let you in the door because that's the crowd they want. No environment is any different. So if you feel like you're not ready to enter a certain environment, maybe you have to become ready. Maybe you don't have the key, the assertiveness, the knowledge or perspective now, but you got to think, where can I get it and where can I grow into that person that's going to get into that environment? So we're going to talk about some limiting factors. A lot of times when people talk about environment, a big example they like to use is being into an environment where they can connect with people that are participating in an activity that gets them to a certain goal. See how it all kind of goes together? When you talk about an environment like that, some people can go into that environment, but the biggest factor is that they don't feel ready for that environment. And that's why they don't go. They hesitate, they use excuses, there's fear involved. And I will tell you, when you're confident, confidence is nothing more than you doing the preparation and the practice and doing what you're supposed to be doing and having the consistency to show up. And when you show up, you know what you did, what needs to be done. There's nothing else to think about. You done the work. So you're confident. You come in there with a swagger. I got this shit. It's over with. It's done. That's the type of energy you have when you do that. And a lot of times when people neglect to put themselves in a certain environment, they haven't done the work. If you ain't done the fucking work, you're not going to feel right. You're not going to feel right there. I'm going to use basketball, for example. If I want to be a great basketball player and I want to be great on the court and I go into the gym where the best of the best play, I'm not even going to fucking feel right there if I'm not practicing, working on myself. I'm not working my jump shot, getting up in the morning, doing my cardio, working out. I'm not going to feel right there. I'm going to go in there and you're actually going to feel a shift in energy. And for you, if you're not ready mentally and spiritually, it's going to feel like the gravity changes. You're going to fucking get crushed. And the craziest part, nobody's doing it to you but yourself. You'll defeat yourself because you don't belong there, because you haven't earned it yet. But can you get there? Absolutely fucking yes, by doing the work. So that's environment, right? Now we talk about activities. Activities will earn you the key, pass, or mental capacity to enter an environment. So if I partake in my activities being positive for me and giving me a result that grows my perspective and my confidence, because I show a consistency and the attention and care that it needs, I walk in a room like I own that bitch. That's the energy it takes. So when we talk about activities, we have to really analyze our activities and say, what am I doing day to day in each moment? And is it good for me? What purpose does it have? And it doesn't always have to be necessarily my day needs to be planned out all 24 hours, all productivity. Nobody's really built like that. Nope, I won't say nobody. I mean, I don't know, maybe Jeff Bezos or I don't know, Mark Zuckerberg. That dude's probably an alien. But anyway, it's a whole nother podcast. But real shit, like you have to really look at your actions and say, how are these actions serving me? And a lot of times you can't beat yourself up over making the wrong choices about your actions. You just got to say, hey, it took me to do this, to have to wake up, to feel this discomfort and pain of not getting shit for my actions. And I'm ready to get something that I feel like I deserve. And more importantly, I'm ready to work for it. So prime example, I want to put myself in a space to be a pro bodybuilder, right? My actions have to co-align with that. I can't be trying to turn pro and skipping sessions, be out partying when I'm supposed to be sleeping, ready to recover and go again. I have to plan those things out. I have to keep in mind, if I want to make it to that stage, there's certain steps and requirements to be in that space. You got to come with a certain swagger and mental energy to even believe while you're on that stage, and people can see it. They'll see right through you. They'll see the lack of confidence, and the lack of confidence will come from you not putting the work in. I'm not doing that to myself. So I dissect my actions. What serves me to my purpose? What more can I do? And I get to it. So for me personally, I literally write that shit out hour by hour. And I'm not telling you have to do that. You can find your own way to do it. That's how I like to do it. And I make sure I'll go through and I'll write my goal. I'll write things I need to do to accomplish this goal. I'll try as best as I can to put those things in order, step by step, and I try to fit them into a day. And once I'm done with those things, whatever time I have left, I take my leisure time to do what I like. That's simple. So environments, action. Now people. So a lot of times you're in an environment, participating in action, meeting people, because they all kind of just collide together, right? People is a big factor where we go wrong. And when I say we, I mean me too. I have a lot to say about this topic because people, out of these three subtopics, is probably the biggest place where I struggled at. And I had to learn the hard way. People are very, very simple, right? Either people have hell yes energy or no. There's no such thing as a gray area. Gray area is nothing but confusion between two parties. I know some of y'all taking notes, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that again. Gray area is nothing but confusion between two parties. What do you mean by that? I'm gonna tell you. So when we talk about a gray area, you're talking about an area where people try to sit and be an analyst over others' behavior and actions and why they may do something and try to make a judgment or decision if that person is for them or not. I'm gonna tell you like this. If you go to a restaurant and you order food, they may mess up your food, right? Nobody's perfect. But if they come out and they're not understanding to hear a customer out and say, okay, this was your expectation. Let me try within my means to meet that expectation or see how I can compensate you. And if they don't have that type of energy, you're not going to come back, right? If you go to a store and they don't have the produce that you like to buy, you're not going to continue to go to that store. You're not going to buy shoes that don't fit you just because they're recommended to you. So you already know how to accept hell yes energy and say no when things don't serve you. So why don't we do it with people? If someone is for you, here's the biggest factor you need to keep in mind. Nobody's ever going to be perfect. It could be a business partner, friends, or relationship. There is nobody that's going to be perfect. But the biggest factor, they're always going to have hell yes energy about you. And what that means is no matter what comes up, they know the value of assessing the issue and working through it with you and trying to get to the conclusion of what's right, overcoming that issue. And people that aren't for you, that are no's, they don't do that. They see a little adversity between two parties and they give up. They walk away. Just I'm not feeling that. And that's okay. That's okay. But when people do that and they slide into that gray area, stop trying to figure them out. What's already said don't need to be said. You already got your answer. If you're questioning it, if you're questioning somebody's good for you and their intentions and their intent, you already got your answer. People that are for you, they'll make it known. They're assertive when they come in the room. Hey, yo, man, you know what? I was thinking something. I think we should do this, this, and this, da, 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 da. Here's why. And I think you're a great asset to this. People will let you know their intentions and what they think is the good in you and their relationship. They will make that very clear for their greater good. And the ones that don't, either A, don't have anything good to say about you, which doesn't make you good or bad, but it makes them a no for you, or B, they haven't figured out how to be assertive enough to get what they want out of life and their environments, actions, and the people around them. And you don't need to be around those people. You need to be focused on yourself so you're not making that same mistake. So we got environments, we got people, we got actions. We're dissecting what's good for us in those three subtopics. I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to do that today. I actually even challenge you to go beyond and find other topics within your life that you feel like you need to assess and say, what within this is good for me? And how can I get the maximum benefit out of this? I use those three subtopics to keep myself in check. Make sure, one, I'm in the right place at the right time, environment. Two, I'm keeping winners around me and people like me, or people that are doing what I want to do or doing what I'm doing, people. And three, those two things correlate with me taking action and the things I'm supposed to be doing, so I can not only be the man I am, but become more the man I'm growing to be. So I challenge y'all to do that. I challenge y'all to have some perspective amongst each other and start a conversation today with friends, family, loved ones, and get sharp. It's all momentum, it's all perspective, and that's why people are so beautiful, because we have so many different opinions and so much perspective. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Stay sharp, the podcast, episode 3. I'm out.